Hey, how's it going? This is George with Truck Driver Nation. And what we're fixing to go over is actually going to be about social media, online marketing strategies, and this is going to be for, you can use it for anything, but this is going to be independent freight dispatchers. And let me tell you, it ain't what everybody sees. I'm going to give you the truth about what I've dealt with personally and everything I've done inside social media. And I got heartburn. So stand by for that one. I have no idea why. I ate some cheese and whatever, but hell, it shouldn't have been killing me like this. Anyways, who knows? When you finally drive trucks and you get away from all the trash food and you finally start eating like a normal house rat, ain't necessarily good. But building a strong online presence is essential for attracting carriers and growing your freight dispatch business. Here are some key strategies to market yourself effectively. I'm not seeing this. They got the same old shit, and every one of these costs so much. They don't make it cost effective so you can do this and do them all to actually build your business. Hell no. They want you to stay starved out on these things where you can't move. So I'm using Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, not really Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Twitter, I have no idea. Twitter, I mess with Twitter 1 minute it wants to let me in, next minute it's kicking me out. Whatever these profiles or these algorithms or whatever they got set on you, they're not user friendly. It's some of these places kick you out, and I'm like, dude, I'm from the United States. I don't screw with nobody. I'm in transportation. So you tell me why in the hell it's kicking me out. I got to go through and, check the box or whatever the hell it is. It don't make sense. I use Facebook groups, worthless, absolutely worthless. Okay. If you want to pay and go through Meta Business, I've been on Meta Business trying to figure it out, and I'm not a fucking idiot. I mean, I'm saying I'm the brightest person there, but Facebook ain't user friendly when it actually comes to going into that meta and getting it done. And on Facebook, inside their groups, they let any idiot that wants to be on Facebook in those groups go in there. And so if they put out ads, it's just stuff that they're putting out. And some of these people, I actually don't even believe they even exist. Being a trucker, I didn't really have no need to actually go on there in my time to actually do anything. But when you go in there and you see owner operators page, buy a truck, non-CDL, CDL, flatbed, reefer, step deck, dry van, car haulings, um, was that car hauling mafia or something like that, and all these things. And then they hold you out because they don't like what you're putting because you're competitive content. Okay, so they say, oh well, yeah, come on in. They're trying to just feed the fish so the people they can catch. And we even got Truck Driver Nation website, and even in that, I mean Facebook, and even in that, I send the links out and I put them out publicly, but I don't see a lot of people coming in because I leave it open so you can ask questions. Obviously, that improves my overall exposure inside the internet. LinkedIn, another one. They want to charge you a lot of money to use LinkedIn. Instagram, I don't really use Instagram, haven't seen a lot of help with it. TikTok, I've done my best to make really, eh, look, I don't look for popping fireworks and whatever you need to be inside TikTok. But in TikTok, I try to put out information that's actually useful, that actually is pertinent to the logistics business, the industry, whether it's driving a truck, recruiting, freight dispatching, whatever it is. And I'll be honest, I don't really see um, a lot of anything in there producing because, if you want to play here, let me entertain you. I don't get that. I'm not here to entertain nobody. I'm here to give you the facts and logistics just the way it is and the truth of it based on the market even today. Um, YouTube, I've done a lot of content creation for that. I see people responding, but I don't see them being drawn into our business. I had like 100 and I had put one out the other day, like 117 people, and it just ain't seeing a lot on these. So the point being, if you know how to actually access this stuff, or you have a way that I can actually access social media platforms, because that's what I'm doing. And I want to be able to pass this on to other freight dispatchers. Please let me know your strategies. Don't give me theories. If you got a theory on how it's done, keep it to yourself. it don't do me no good. That's just you jabbering jaws. But if you actually have a way that you're doing it that has to do with logistics, I'm not selling ice cream cones and I'm not giving away Halloween candy. This is me actually dealing inside the freight dispatch and recruiting industry. If you got a strategy that will work for us, we would appreciate it, and other people will appreciate it because we will actually push the same data onwards to tell them how productive this helps us. Because the economy is so tight, the way we're looking at freight dispatching, you don't have tons of money to throw out at advertising. Okay. The next thing we're going to go to is content marketing strategies. Oh, marketing strategies. So there one says educational content, shared dispatching tips, industry trends, and compliance information. Absolutely, we do. And some of the best content information that is factual based on whatever platform you're using and just the industry day-to-day activities. Behind the scenes, show how to find loads, negotiate rates, and help drivers. You can show those videos, and we actually use some of that stuff. But when it comes to the really finding loads, you can't just do one thing. Okay, let's do load boards. That's not necessarily the brightest thing to do. Load boards have limitations based on the brokers you're doing and based on how much money they're scalping off the load before it gets to the dispatcher. And I know I hear people say 20%, 30%, 36%. Absolutely. I have seen it personally. So I know it exists. But even if you're doing bulk, 200, 300, $400, whatever that might be, if we're not seeing the difference where we're making a portion of that, then it does us no good because you can't just chop it off. And a freight dispatch, you don't have nothing to actually go on, and you're already fighting with them over layover, detention, tono, truck order not used, all the different factors that it's not tons of money, but it's money that we need inside transportation because the owner operator needs it as well. So it makes it real competitive when you're actually doing it. My best theory or option is actually a deal, actually whichever form you're using, seamless AI. I love seamless AI. So, is to actually generate your own connections with direct shippers. Success stories showcase happy clients and successful hauls. Successful hauls, well, hell, if it wasn't no successful hauls, we wouldn't be getting product from point A to point B. Showcase happy clients. Um, there's really not a lot of happiness going around these days. Unless you get somebody to just, you make some propaganda for the purpose of doing business. I don't need to give propaganda. I need you to have facts. So when you look to me and talk to me, no, you're not playing games with me. I can, empathize and understand what's going on and what your current situation is, but I need you to have facts. So when you step into the ring, you know where the punches are coming from, so you can hold yourself together to get through another round or another day inside logistics. Infographics and charts explain load rates, fuel trends, and profit margins. All this you can do. Load rates are what the load rates are. That's what you're negotiating with the direct shipper or the boards. Okay. Um, that's easy enough to explain because you're doing content, videos, do written content's fine, but to hear people negotiate, everybody negotiates differently. The way I negotiate, you sure the hell probably don't like it because I'm not there to play games with them. I either got to find out what's going on as quick as I possibly can because if you want dependability and consistency, I'm the person you're looking for because I know the owner operators that I actually have with me. Fuel trends. Fuel trends ain't no fuel trend. The fuel's based on any given region on every particular day, which is set out by the government for the following week. But it still doesn't mean that you don't run in areas where there's a high demand and obviously the fuel prices are actually up. What are you gonna do? You're gonna buy from one of the truck stops, or you're gonna get on a toll road and buy according to those fuel prices, or however you're gonna do that, because fuel prices can jump so much from one state to the next, or just a region that you're cutting through. I've seen it myself. I'm a truck driver, right? Profit margins. Profit margins, it has to do with, well, where are you bleeding your money? If you got a truck that's bleeding money, profit margin is not going to be so good. If you're a freight dispatch service and you're pushing, like just on the advertisement stuff, if you're having to try to get as many people as you can to keep pushing on those given platforms to actually try to get the word out there, hey, we have a dispatch service, or hey, do you want to get off the truck and be a freight dispatcher so that way you can make more money than you sure are making on you're making a lot more money than you're definitely making on a truck. Trucks are the worst place to be for a company driver, especially for lease purchase and lease rental. Live Q&A sessions. engage with potential clients and answer questions in real time. When I'm actually, even in our truck driver nation, our actually dispatching program, when I'm actually dealing with them, we get on the phone and I have to spend hours, okay, assisting each one. So to doing Q&As most time is not really logical because by the time you've been dealt with the whole day assisting everybody and really getting them to where they need to be and not just blowing them off as a quick sale, then you're wore out for the day. It's hard to do. Okay, everybody give me your questions. Let's get all solved when each one has its own given scenario and particulars about it so you can give them the correct data. So that's not totally feasible. You're better off just doing the good content so that way they can watch it. Make sure you title it really well. Put the content in there, what that's actually referring to. I do the content of what I'm talking about and then the content in my description two totally different ways. So hopefully that transpires to having two different views of the given issue. Short form videos, yeah, you can do those little snapshot things that they do on the reels and all that good stuff. But, you know, it, if you're just going to give me a quick piece of information, there's always more to the story than what that takes. And I think those things are like 2 minutes or whatever they are. That don't give me a lot of data in 120 seconds or whatever it's going to be. Quick dispatching tips, common mistakes, and motivational content. Your motivational content is you have got the, in fact, I don't know why they call it motivational because we're talking about freight dispatching, right? And driver recruiting. You've got to network. There's your motivational. If you're not networking with the right people or have people coming in where you're actually dealing with them, in the sense of things, nobody wants to network. I don't hear back from Jack, and I do this day in and day out. And I make good money on trucks and I make crappy money on trucks just depending on my trailer. So when it comes to actually networking, people don't want to hear from you unless you have something to offer them. Okay. And then when you're offering them, you got to have a high enough means, high enough profit, or high enough interest that you actually end up making money off of it as well. They're not coming to your door saying what you got for the day. They're just not doing that. Now, paid advertising and lead generation, this is all bullshit. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, the bang for your buck just isn't there. I mean, you got to be having one hell of a trucking company and be burning everybody's ass that works for you to have these dollars that you're going to need for paid advertising and lead generation. Now, I've got tons of leads I get every day, but most of them ain't worth a damn. I mean, we deal with more people that they're not even sure. Okay, do you want a job dispatching, or do you want a job? I mean, you want to go back on the carrier? They don't even know what the hell they want to do. And we're giving them everything verbatim, the complete scenario, what you're making, when you're getting off, what kind of benefits, where your routes, what kind of freight, if we have direct shippers with that given carrier, when you get paid, if 1099, W-2, what kind of equipment is everything. And they still can't make that decision. And when I'm telling them, I mean, I'm not saying it's a perfect carrier. Ain't not one trucking company perfect that I've ever experienced. But when you're giving them that information, they are still going to keep hunting. Like all of a sudden, they're going to find the golden bullet. There ain't no golden bullet in transportation. There never has been. And I've done car hauling and RGN and everything. So if you're looking for a magic bullet when it comes to this, now this is the wrong market to be. I mean, wrong type of industry to be trying to look for that. The best thing you hope is make sure that the money comes in according to what it is, the freight stays consistent, and that the company respects you at least to your face, even if they don't behind the scenes, that you can at least get that level of attention and get home to your family and your kids with the equipment being safe out on the road. Okay. But a lot of these companies, they're looking for ways to fire you as soon as you hire you because with the cameras and micro trackers and all this other stuff, and you know, they pushing you till they push you out or they get you caught up in something like a SAP program. So if you failed a drug test, now they got some kind of leverage to actually bring your pay even further down because they act like they're punishing you. Punishing you. Who in the hell are you to punish me? I followed FMCSA bullshit for clearinghouse if that's the given situation, and you should be able to go right back up to what standard pay is. Yeah, are they going to babysit you and watch you? And if they decide to fine you or whatever, because it is a fine, whatever way you want to label it. You can label it as a Christmas bonus or to somebody else or whatever you want to do. But the truth is, they're taking money from your pocket. But every situation has these things where they're trying to squeeze you. Now, Google Ads, ranking for freight dispatching services and trucking keywords. We've built content based on SEO words and indexing And that's the whole thing behind that as well. We do see it moving around, but you know, how much has it benefited us? We can't really tell. We can look at the numbers and see what it is, but as we call all of this conversions, you want conversions. That means you've converted that particular situation into actual dollars, but it's not really there to the main part because everybody's got a poor mouth situation that I'm broke. You want something that brings you to the next level, but you don't want to invest in yourself. Why would you not invest in all the crap that you could ever do? Why would you not invest in yourself unless you don't believe in yourself? So if we're giving you that avenue to easily invest in yourself with very low investment and a very good return, why would you not take a hold of that? YouTube ads, promote your dispatcher services through your video ads. I haven't really learned how to do that. I mean, you know how it is. You can only do so much in a given day because we still have to dispatch, we still have to teach our school, and we still have to recruit. But I just haven't come across nobody that has the skill set. Even though you got influencers and all this other stuff, out of all the people I've talked to, and I've talked to a lot of people, nobody brings, because I mean, if we see it's worth it and we can convert it, why not pay you? That you're doing something and you're growing us. But I'm not seeing nobody that can do this. It's so much cheap ass talk. LinkedIn outreach. So direct messages to trucking companies and drivers. So when you go on LinkedIn, you can go in there, you can pull up trucking companies or driving jobs or freight dispatching jobs or driver recruiter jobs. But when you're dealing with them, I haven't seen a lot of nothing but a bunch of other foreigners coming out of other countries trying to get their foot in the door. So, and what they're going to do is going to cause you a lot of problems because they're always up to some bullcrap because they think they understand. They get a hair of information. They think they understand logistics in the United States, and it's just better off if they are not from the United States. No shit, you hear their accent, and when you talk to them, you know they're bleeding that they're a United States citizen. They have been living there for generations, whether they never came from a foreign country or not. I mean, as white as I am, Mama, I mean, Daddy and all them are all Native American Indians from Turtle Mountain Band to Chippewa Indians out there out in North Dakota. But I got a Southern accent, and my mama's redneck blood obviously took over because look how white I am. But most people don't believe us. And I was like, well, I don't care if you believe me or not. I mean, my daddy's genetics is all here. Didn't come from nowhere else. Didn't have it dropped in out of a plane from some other country or come over on some damn wooden boat, Mayflower, or any of that crap. This is our stomping ground from the get-go. But so if you're dealing with Americans, you know that, they're going to be more direct. Absolutely. I'd rather have direct than a mouthful of bullshit. But even they have a tendency of wanting to do it too because they don't have a handle on their situation. The amount of hours that we dedicate into this is tremendous. We don't just shut it down at the end of the day. Even if we're not on the computers, we're still discussing topics. Some of the people around me get lazy about it and they don't want to discuss it, but I really don't care because at some point they'll either keep going with logistics or they'll fade out. I look at it, all the friends I've had from the time I was in school. There ain't very many of them around because they just didn't make it. They didn't make the cut. They want to live the easy life. There is no easy life in this life. It's all sacrifice and burden. Otherwise, you're going to be hungry. Unless you want to rip people off and actually make money that way. And the best way I have learned to rip people off actually is in some of the programs that I've learned from as being a driver recruiter. Okay. The only thing that even came close to it and didn't even come close to it was when I had pawn shops. So keep that in mind. When you're doing pawn shop, you're buying everything from everybody because they need money and you're taking advantage of that given situation. But when you're looking at this and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, how should I market this or who I should be dealing with and how to generate that level of revenue, you're doing some dirty stuff. But then the ones I'm going to stick out there is lease purchase and lease rental. Definitely have seen it with it. It's all in the profiles. It don't take us but a second. Even my wife knows how to break it down because she's looked at it and heard the stories and seen what's going on. Now, the website and SEO optimization, that's the one that, we've definitely put a lot of energy into with Truck Driver Nation. We put it in there so we can do the freight dispatching with the course, having that course and having the freight dispatch service, as well as having the driver recruiting aspect in there too. So you can go in there, look at all of our job ads, see if there's something that you want, get a hold of us. You're a grown person. We shouldn't have to reach out to you. Let us know what you want. Okay, and we give you the rest of the profile or freight dispatch and make that transition quickly because we give you leads and stuff. But you remember, you're dealing with the leads that we're giving you. We're not saying that these leads are the best. You got to deal with children and a lot of aspects to get the people out of there. They're actually truck drivers or in transportation, really, or in logistics. And then when it comes to the what's the other part? The you got the brokerage. I mean, oh, the dispatch service. That's just me taking care of you. I mean, because we go way beyond anything to make sure that we're generating enough revenue on you. And I would give a crap how I get it. I'm gonna tell you straight. I'll do some of whatever it takes. That's the reason you're hiring me as a dispatcher, for me to do what it takes to make it happen. And I do hustle them. Yeah, whatever it takes to get that freight. If we have to start calling, thank goodness for AI, but it's definitely changed the game a lot if you understand how to. It's not what AI does. It always has to do with that one thing, asking the right question, and that's where you're going to be. That's going to be your winning factor, and when it comes to that, right? Now, creating a professional website, like I said, that's where we've done that SEO and having it where it's indexed and stuff. Great, really great. Craigslist. I'm going to throw Craigslist in there for a minute. No, something happened to Craigslist, and I'm not sure. It used to be a credible, easy to work with platform, and they've kicked us off of it. Like even when I went into, we're talking about logistics, okay? Now we're talking about hiring. We put ads in there that says, okay, become a freight dispatcher, and we can obviously guarantee you that you're going to be able to work as a freight dispatcher because we are actually still associated with, even though you pay the fee up front, that's for office fees. On the back end, we get 2%. So if you're doing 10%, 8%, we get 2%, but we're pushing everything with you because we're not partners with you. You're totally independent, but we're pushing it to ensure that you're actually getting everything you need. We're right here. You just say, hey, I need this, I need that. What do you think? Do I need to talk to them about whatever? I literally give you every answer. There's only so many variables when it comes to this on how you should handle any given situation when it comes to logistics. Unless it's something where somebody got killed, or one of the out of the ordinary things that happen, majority of it's the same old, same old. Um, Blogging, done a lot of blogs. I don't know if I've got the best blogs. I just make sure I got the content on it, and I put maybe some links, a short row of tags and stuff on the back of it. So if you're actually looking for that content, hopefully it generates you where you'll lead to our blog, and but I don't get no complaints. The information's on spot. So lead capture forms like collect emails, phone numbers, or for follow-ups. Emails ain't worth shit that only about 17% of people even look at the damn things, and half of them don't even respond. And then if you get that, all the stuff starts going to spam because you're using a standardized format to send it. I can't sit there and write you a new message every time. So whoever come up with all this crap and you think it's solving the problem when it comes to actually emailing, you're a retard. Because even the ones that have these email agencies, they can't even guarantee the same thing, that it's not going to spam. They're going to sure the hell try to sell you on it, but once you find out how it works, they cannot guarantee it. When it comes to phone numbers, we get over 500 people a day that are coming through aggregate systems, and most of them ain't even no good. They don't respond or nothing. We're texting them. We use bulk texting, whether it's through Ring Central or one by one through, like Nextiva. You can't afford to use dial pad, so even the VoIPs are got a restriction really on how good they are. And you can't pay that many people unless they're commission based to actually generate that type of stuff, unless you're just a good salesman, and which I can close people. If we're on there, I'm going to give you the information, but I have a tendency of giving you too much factual information, and instead of just trying to sell you, but nobody really respects that. And I'm trying to make sure that you understand the good and the bad. There's two sides to every coin. Any idiot that tells you they're not is lying to you as well. So networking and community engagement. Okay, engage in Facebook and LinkedIn groups. Offer valuable advice, not just promotions. It don't matter what you offer them because when you're actually sending these messages out, there's nobody engaging back with you. Okay, I mean, even if you're putting it like my content, it's good when I put it in Facebook. But thing is, everything you're dealing with, LinkedIn is trying to charge you. Facebook, I can put good content or even good links that go back to good content because it's all attached together, and you don't see a lot of anything when it comes out of that. It's just energy, 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 and no return. Collaborate with influencers. Depends on the influence. They all talk a good game. I've been seeing what they can do, and they all want to sell you. It's the same old lie. Okay. If anybody's out there that you see what I'm complaining about and what I'm telling you as a straightforward aspect of what we're dealing with, if you got the skills, I would love to talk to you. And then actually engage with because we're here, we're dedicated. We're not going nowhere. We're in logistics. Host free webinars, teach drivers how to maximize their earnings with a dispatcher. Yeah, absolutely, you can teach them, but that's what you're doing when you're actually bringing them on board. I don't need 50 drivers. I only need seven, right? So inside those seven, my job is to take care of those seven. If I want to grow that, now you got the secondary problem. What kind of dispatcher do you have that you're bringing in your team? And are they going to do their job day to day? Or are they just going to act like, it's like watching them dig a ditch. I use digging a ditch to everybody. Daddy told me a long time ago, if they're going to dig a ditch, sure as shit, you're going to have to stand out there and make sure the idiot even knows how to operate a shovel because not otherwise, the ditch is going to look like a damn a windy road out through the country. So that's the way you're dealing with it these days. The men are not men. Whoever the hell the men are, you should be ashamed of yourself because you made your kids pure idiots. I mean, I was raised on a farm by an ex-military Vietnam veteran, prick. Yeah, but he was my dad. And he sure showed us how to handle ourselves because there ain't no mercy in this process. Offering referral incentives, reward clients for bringing in new business. Yeah, you have no problem rewarding them, but they're not doing it. We're paying really good money, really good money. So if you bring in somebody, let's say for recruiting, we're giving you 70% of it. So why don't you bring them in? You want something. You say you know all these drivers, and it comes back to one of two things. Either they're not working or they're running that mouth again because they all claim when you're on the phone with them, I can do this, I got this many people, la, 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 when you should already know. And we're telling you that if you bring us 50 people, man, you're talking about a 5 to 10% conversion if they're legit, if they're actually strong. That's only five to, let's say 100, 5 to 10 people, maybe out of that. And actually, it's really lower than that. People try to act like it's a high, but it's not. Okay. Email and SMS marketing. I told you about email, pure trash. SML marketing, they've got it where they don't even let you hardly do no words as far as characters before now you're paying for one message actually turns into you're paying for two messages because of even if they give you 5,000 and you go over, let's say 160 characters, that's it. But if you go like some email or SMLs marketing type of deals where you're using one where you can send out plenty of characters. Well, then now you got to do one by one instead of being the bulk texted. And now that TCR came out, it's the campaign registry. Those pricks will hold you back. That is run by the major carriers of the phone systems inside the United States. And there ain't no standard orders or protocols to get you through that system so you can get to moving forward. You're begging, calling, begging. Well, hey, do you know? I don't know. You should change this, and that, and other. And you got to have a website. So hell, you do everything. We go, well, let's change it this week to this. Wait 4 weeks or wait 3 weeks or whatever the hell it's going to be. They're not no good. Whoever owns that, you're a walking idiot too. Let's see what else. Email newsletters, useless. Cold outreach emails, useless. SMS alerts, that's useless. If you know how to show me how to do this, please, I would love to hear from you because we are doing it exactly how we've watched YouTube videos. We've talked to people. We look and see what's going on out there in the web by looking stuff up, not without going to YouTube and everything. We've looked at everything. We've looked at all the blogs. I mean, just, of course, you never look at all the blogs, but looked at a lot of blogs concerning these topics, and there's nothing that's panning out. Reputation and management and trust building. Now, the only thing I can tell you about trust building is I don't care if nobody trusts me because what I'm giving you is the truth. Okay, I'm not here to sell you a pack of lies and try to see who had to catch an angel because if catch an angle. But if you want to know how it's done and you actually have the money to actually do this, because I sure don't, because I was a truck driver, then please let me know. I will show you how it's done. But you better prepare and hold on. And them credit cards have better get ready to be hot to the touch because it takes a lot of numbers to do these lease rental and lease purchase setups. Okay. And there's lots of ways to scam people because as a recruiter, they skim them all day. And I can go through the whole list. I mean, it's everything from trailers to trucks, the way it's set up, the way the program's set up, the drivers that you're getting, what kind of insurance you're running, the experience of the drivers, the freight that you're using, all that, And you're just basically doing, I mean, yeah, you can do direct shippers, but you're still pulling a lot of damn load boards. Load boards have corrupt transportation. You know, brokerage is absolutely in the way. 100% I believe that in my total heart that they're in the way because you can't take a pie and shit, there's only one crust and 8 slices and split that bastard up and expect everybody to be okay and eat well. Everybody's 1 foot from starving except the one that got the pie to begin with, and that's brokerage. Okay. So don't sell me, oh, well, we do bulk quantity or we do bulk and that's the reason we make our money. You know, we're doing thousands of loads a day. I've seen the numbers on what goes on. Okay. And every instance is different. I absolutely agree. Some of them is not as much, but thing is, I know what they're making because of this. I mean, for a freight agent to make good money, they have to do a lot in order to make it because that broker's taking his cut and then some. Okay, so don't fool yourself. And I've got the contracts for many of brokerages, and I can easily show you the numbers. You can do a lot of stuff, but you can't lie about the numbers. Create case studies. Case studies is basically just like doing a blog. Why in the hell they want to call it a case study? It's just the overall of what you've seen, your personal experience. If you wanted to use it, just what you've seen go on. And what I've seen go on is not what you want to hear. You know, you want to say everybody say you a sweet honey cup of tea and say, here, the world is nothing but, your oyster kind of thing. That's not the way this is. Okay. Professional branding, we use the same old brands. I don't know what the hell they want about branding. If it wouldn't matter if I wrote it down on a piece of paper, that's who I am. I mean, I don't know if a shade of color or whatever you think really is enthusiastic to somebody. You need our performance. Okay. I mean, you can do logos now with AI and whatever else. You know, I got all kinds of brands. I try this one a little bit. I just mix it up. I don't stick to one logo because why does that matter? It's Truck Driver Nation. Okay. That is us. But anyways, in the theory of it says if you implement these strategies, you can build brand awareness, attract more carriers, and grow your independent freight dispatching business effectively. The way you grow your freight dispatching business is basically one-on-one. You got to just beat the bushes and pull the damn blueberries off as they finally show up. Because if you don't, the crows are going to get it. Okay. And a lot of this stuff here, I don't see the value of it in the content of what it does for you, but I wanted to go through it and give you the no shit assessment of how that it has affected my business and how we've seen it progressively help us grow because it absolutely has not. All these strategies are somebody else sucking the money out of you. So this is like propaganda because if the results were there, we would have done already seen it. So take it for what it is. The only way you can do is lead by lead and just keep on shoving until you get something that works. Okay. Or there's other ways, but I don't want to put that out there because the trucking companies, I do recruit for them. They'll be pissed off if I put this out there. So I got to limit at that because I still have to do business. But anyways, if you have any questions or concerns, or you got some information that maybe even you can teach us something, we would always love to learn. Teach us. But thing is, the practice that we do when we're dispatching is one, if the price don't fit, we can't take it because a truck runs on $1.60 or $1.80 a mile on average to begin with. So everybody taking $1.30, $1.40, you dumbass. Because why would you do that? You didn't even make no profit. Are you in for the profit or are you in for the damn Salvation Army? So you got me confused. I'm standing back and I'm watching. I'm going, well, how can you do it? Because you can't. You cannot do that. So I'm glad you're going to lose your truck. It'll get you out of the market. Some other idiot will come in with their finish and finally manage to get a down payment, get another truck, and do the same damn thing over again. So I hope that was inspirational and eye-awakening to some degree for those that actually need it. Don't let these people tell you lies out there. They're all willing to tell you lies. Everybody wants to act like they're the biggest and best next thing when there's the core reality of it. So take it for what it is. But anyways, I appreciate your time. Please get in contact with us at truckdrivernation.com. You can send emails to us at support@truckdrivernation.com or give us a call, 210-343-1118, 210-343-1118. And, let us know what you know. We got Facebook, we got TikTok, we got LinkedIn, like I said, all those platforms, we do have them. So that's the reason I give them to you. But yeah, let's know what you got in mind. If you need a dispatcher, please get a hold of us because we do get on it for you. We don't play around. We're not here to play games and give you some false lead or false hope about the ability that we're able to do. We dig extremely hard. So when you get those good weeks, we are busting our ass to get that. That's the reason, we don't want to just charge you a percentage. We want to go beyond that percentage to make it worth why you did do business with us. But anyways, I got some great dispatchers and everything, and I probably can actually save you money because depending on where I source my dispatchers. But anyways, I appreciate your time. Everybody have a blessed day, and I hope to talk to everybody again soon. Thank you so much.